What's up, guys? This is Super M Giles coming at you again, Snake Eyes Productions, with yet another video. I promised to do videos of all my movie swords from my movie sword collection that started all the way back in college with the Conan Atlantean from Conan the Barbarian and Conan the Destroyer. And hopefully the new Conan movie. This right here is the sword of Maximus from the movie The Gladiator. Everybody knows it. One of the best movies ever made, I think. I think majority of the people would agree with me on that. But this is the sword of General Maximus and the helmet of Maximus the Gladiator. And these were both the authentic, made by Factory X. Factory X was a company several years ago that created and made some pretty awesome pop culture stuff. They actually had a Marvel license as well. They made an Iron Man helmet, some Doctor Doom stuff, I think, and Captain America shield. But then their company went belly up. Now, these swords actually sold for about $400, $500 back then. I was lucky enough to get mine for $200. The helmet itself, the authentic helmet, which we'll do some close-ups of here in just a minute, but it actually sold for about $600, about $599, I think, was the original price. I actually got my sword for $200 probably 10, 12 years ago off of eBay. And then I was lucky enough to find another sword and another helmet. Some guy had no clue what he had, and he sold me a sword and the helmet for literally $50. And they were in storage from a friend of his or something that had moved and had left the storage there and had sat for a while, and so he decided to sell it. I'm sure his buddy was pissed whenever he found out, because it's very expensive stuff, and now the fact that they don't even make it. There's tons of knockoffs of both of these out there. I live not far from a gun and knife place that actually United Cutlery, that does the Lord of the Rings swords or has done most of them. They're the ones that had the main license. I live not far from that factory, and as a result, there's all kinds of fakes of this sword made that you can get for $30, $35 or whatever. Also the same with the helmet. But let me tell you, nothing comes close to having the originals. I mean, they're the most authentic. The sword itself, with the exception of the top that in the movie has a little thing coming out of the top of it, out of the top of the hilt there, out of the ball. That's the only thing that the replica does not have that the actual movie swords had. But again, this is the sword of Maximus and the helmet of Maximus from the movie The Gladiator. You can't get these anywhere unless you get lucky and find them on eBay. I haven't even seen very many reviews on either one of these. I saw a kid that's got one. He had no clue what he had, but he was showing it off on YouTube. And then I've seen, I think, one review of somebody in London, of a guy that had bought one of the helmets, got a great price on it, and then if you look down in his comments, he had already sold it. So you could pop this on eBay, both of them, and they would sell very quickly to the people that knew what they were. And $600 or so for the helmet. I guess it'd go for around $1,000 now, and I guess the sword would go for about $500 to $600 as well, right now as well. But we'll do some close-ups, and we'll be done with this video. But this is the sword of Maximus from one of my favorite movies besides Conan the Barbarian, The Gladiator, of course. So you can imagine what type of swords I'm about to show you in reviews. Obviously the box is pretty cool. The sword of Maximus. There's the helmet, and you can see the stand, and it's actually got a little, print deal on there. It says The Gladiator, the helmet of Maximus. If you look up at the top of this, you can see The middle should have been ivory. Obviously, you know, they did what they wanted to do. It's actually some type of really nice plastic, but it's very, very detailed. On the top and the bottom of are both wood. I mean, that's a cherry wood if I've ever seen it. I mean, and when I say it's awesome, it is awesome. Now the leather on the actual sheath here, it's actually worn down over the years. It was not made very well at all. But if I could focus in here, you'd see some of these, the details of some of this stuff much better. That's a little Roman legion mark right there. And again, this camera sucks for anything that's close up. I'll figure it out one of these days and have to redo all these videos. But the mark underneath there is actually what the mark of the Roman legion, which Maximus, of course, takes a piece of glass and cuts out of his arm in the scene where he had first become a slave. There's the box again. Again, the box, pretty awesome. Factory X, Hero Will Rise, Gladiator, and then of course the back of it. Obviously limited editions. I don't know how many they made. They didn't actually number them, but the company went out of business within a few years. It went belly up. But this is the sword and the helmet of Maximus from the movie The Gladiator.